thanks for checking out my video. I'm Olivia and today I'm going to show you all of my empties for the first half of 2026. So this video is probably going to be short and sweet. I'm definitely not a project panner. I'm not actively trying to work my way through a bunch of items. These are really just products that I've used up organically over the past 6 months. I have a few different skincare items and then a couple makeup items as well. So I'll start with the skincare and then we'll get into the makeup. I've only done one other empties video before, I think at the end of 2025. If you've seen that video, then the skincare is going to be pretty repetitive because I tend to use the same things. I don't really dabble too much in the skincare. I don't explore very much. I have very dry skin and it's very sensitive, and I'm lazy. So I've never really wanted a huge routine for the skincare. I want it to be done in like a minute and a half tops. So I'm actually going to start with this spray. This is from Evereden. Didn't know how to pronounce it then. I should probably look it up because I still don't know how to pronounce it. But this is the multivitamin hydrating face mist. I think this is the second one I finished of these. I'm already like halfway through the backup. This brand in general so far is kind of a favorite for me. I feel like the couple products that I've used work really nicely on my dry, sensitive skin. I also like that this is fragrance free. I will say the bottle looks pretty small, but you do get 2.5 ounces in here. I feel like this lasts me at least a couple months. The sprayer on it is also really fine, so I feel like you don't go through a lot of it in just one use. I really like this. I kind of use this as a first step before I go in with any serums or moisturizers. And I'm definitely not a skincare expert. I couldn't really tell you what benefits it has, but it makes my skin feel nice. I feel refreshed when I use it. I feel like when I'm done with my entire skincare routine, like 2 or 3 steps, my skin does feel nice and plump, so I'm pretty happy with the little groove I'm in right now. I feel like I've been talking a lot, but this is the first item that I've used up. The second item that I have to talk about is the Tarte Maracuja Sea Brightener Eye Treatment. It just comes in this cute little jar here. I think I've used probably like 4 or 5 of these jars. This is not something that I feel like I have to repurchase immediately when I run out. Honestly, I just keep an eye on the Sephora sales section, and if I see it discounted, I'll pick one up. I find this to be really nice and moisturizing. It is a little bit of a thicker consistency, but I don't find that it's too heavy for my under eyes. I feel like it's very nourishing, so I like using this. If I run out, I feel like the moisturizer I use is like nice enough. I just kind of bring it everywhere. But like I said, if I see this on sale, I do like it enough that I will repurchase it, and I have repurchased it. The next empty I have is just this little kind of deluxe sample. This is the Confidence in a Cream from It Cosmetics. This was a nice little moisturizer too. I don't think I like it more than the one I'm using now. I don't think it does quite enough. This one, I almost want to say has a little bit of a greasy feeling. Not overwhelming, it's just like, it's a touch of the grease. It is a nice moisturizer. I feel like if I had the opportunity to get another sample, or if the full size was like very discounted, I would use it again. I just don't like it more than the one I'm using now. But yeah, this little guy is all finished up. And speaking of my current moisturizer, I have finished 2 of these. These are also from Evereden. Please tell me how I'm supposed to say this. Is it like a 1-word situation or a 2? Either way, this is the Nourishing Baby Face Cream. Also unscented, which I very much appreciate. This comes with 1.7 ounces, but I feel like I go through these faster than what I want to for a moisturizer. As you can see, I finished 2 of these within 6 months, and I've been using my backup for a few weeks now. I feel like these last maybe 3 months, give or take, but I will say these are one of my favorite moisturizers that I've tried. I have tried other ones that I like probably equally to these, but these come out on top because of the price point as well. I'll put the actual price on the screen, but I want to say these are around 40 Canadian dollars. They're very reasonable. And I do occasionally see this brand on sale at Sephora, so I have gotten a few of these for even cheaper than that. These are a really nice formula too. They are on the thicker side, but they're not overly thick, so I do feel like in the winter, I actually like to mix a drop of oil into them, just to make them a little bit more rich because I'm so dry. But in the summertime, these are fine on their own. Like I said, these are definitely a favorite. As you can see, I've repurchased these a ton, and I'm gonna continue to go back to these unless I find something even better. This is looking a little crusty, but I also have 2 of these. These are the Supergoop Play Everyday Lotion. These are SPF 50. I did cut this one open because I love this, and these are a little expensive, so I like to get every last bit. The second one of these I am going to count as an empty. I'm keeping it in a little bag here. I do still have a little bit left. I didn't want to dry out. but it will be finished within a week, so I'm gonna count both of these in today's video. I also saw in Sephora they have like a jumbo one of these. It is meant for face and body. I think the jumbo one is like $100, so I don't know that I would use that one on my body. I feel like it's still kind of pricey, even though it's a massive quantity. I do have a backup already. I just repurchased this size because I don't know yet about like that massive one. I think I'd be worried that the SPF would expire before I actually got through it, especially if I'm only using it on like my face and chest. I don't know though. I have my eye on it. I might pick it up one day. So that's actually it for the skincare empties. So we have 7 items here. We have these 3. I have my 2 Everden moisturizers, and then the almost 2 moisturizers from Supergoop. So now we'll get into the makeup empties. Again, I use up my makeup organically. I'm not like trying super hard to focus on products and get them out. But let's get into the things I actually finished. First of all, RIP to my Real Technique sponge. This one started to split on me. Eventually I just had to pull it apart. But I mean, this is very old. She's been through a lot. She was looking crusty. These are actually a favorite for me. I just get them from Amazon. I've gone through many of them and repurchased a couple times. I haven't repurchased that one yet because right now I'm using the sponge from Lunar Beauty. This was not something I bought. I think it was just a free gift with purchase. I tend to be pretty reluctant to buy sponges just because the ones from Real Technique work really well and they're pretty affordable. So I just don't really have an interest in buying like a $15+ sponge. It's just not really for me. I wouldn't mind trying the ones from Shop Miss A. I think those ones are called like the Paw Paw sponge or something. I hope that name's correct because otherwise I'll feel a little bit silly. But I think those ones are supposed to be like $1, so I'm kind of open to trying those too. I feel like I've heard good things. I might check those out when that Lunar Beauty one starts to kind of fall apart too, but otherwise the Real Technique ones are definitely a favorite. I also finished this tinted moisturizer from Becca. This is the Light Shifter Dewing Tint. I think they released these like shortly before they ended up shutting down. I'd watched a couple reviews and I feel like people were talking pretty highly about this, so I bought 4. That might have been unnecessary, but honestly, I do really love this product. So this is the first one that I finished up. I've already broken into a second. The one I'm using right now is a shade darker than this. It is a little bit on the darker side, but I feel like it's a pretty sheer product, so I feel like I can get away with it. I'm making it work. But yeah, I do think this is a really beautiful product. I kind of like how sheer it is. There's not a lot of coverage. It just very subtly evens out the skin tone a little bit, and it gives a really nice, healthy glow. So once I work my way through all 4 of these, I would love to find a dupe. I also finished up a concealer. This is the Maybelline Age Rewind or Age Eraser. I'm not really sure. It's all worn off. But this one's from Maybelline. This is just one of those twist ups. This is one that I have repurchased before, and it's one that I'll continue to repurchase because it's definitely a favorite. This is definitely more of a lightweight concealer. It's not super heavy, but I feel like it does a really nice job brightening the under eyes, even for how lightweight the formula is. I also finished up a brow pomade from ABH. I use the shade Taupe. This is also something I've repurchased before. She is all finished. This is one of my favorite brow products. I've been using it for years, and I'm probably about halfway through my next one already. I also finished up a brow pen from NYX. This is the Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. This type of product is a little bit newer in my brow routine. I think I trialed it with the one from Urban Decay, which was probably my last Empties video. I've really been enjoying using a brow pen, especially for the front of my brows. I do feel like the way I used to do my brows with pretty much just a pomade and a pencil, it just looked a little bit harsh and a little too thick, but I feel like this type of product has been perfect. It's just what I needed to get a little bit more detail in the front. It adds the effect of brow hairs. Growing up, I plucked the shit out of my hairs to the point where like they don't grow back anymore. And like, not to blame my mom. Why did she let 11-year-old me basically pluck my brows until they were gone? I had like somewhere near a unibrow almost, and I plucked my brows, first of all, not symmetrically, probably to like here. Like I have no brows in this part. It's all brow pen, a little bit of pomade, and some peach fuzz. Sorry, Mom. Anyway, I feel like this product has been a game changer for me. I'm really happy I finally tried it out because now I feel like I can't do my makeup without it. And this is also one that I have repurchased. I also have this color correcting duo from Sigma. This is in light to medium. I don't know if they offer one in fair because I feel like that would probably work better for me. But this came with 2 different correcting shades. One definitely worked a little bit better for me than the other, but they were both good enough that I was able to make them work. and obviously I used it up. Personally, I will say I very much enjoy the Becca one, or I guess this one's from Smashbox now, but this one's definitely my favorite over the Sigma one. This formula I find a little bit thicker, so if you're not into that, you might actually prefer the Sigma one. But I feel like because of that, it does a little bit of a better job with the correcting, and it gives a little bit of coverage as well. I also really like the tone of this one, because if I really don't feel like putting on makeup, but I want to look a little bit less tired, I'll just pop a little bit of this under my eyes, and I feel like it does a great job. So this one's definitely my number one. The next product that I finished up is this mascara from Blend Bunny. I don't know if they make this anymore, but this is called the Omni Lash. I really enjoyed this mascara. This is definitely something I would repurchase if I was like placing an order. This was really nice though. I feel like it did a good job of giving me both volume and length. It's definitely not the most lengthening. I have tried ones that are a little bit more effective in that way, but I feel like I'm okay sacrificing a little bit of the length if it's also going to give me the volume. And I feel like this one did give me a nice balance of both. The next product I have, I don't know if I would count it as an empty. It feels wrong to just call it a declutter, but this is the retractable eyeliner from NYX. This is just the white one. This was actually a favorite product for me. I feel like I was incorporating this into like my everyday makeup, even for work. I love the effect of a white in the waterline. It really opens up the eye. It brightens up your look. So I was using this pretty regularly. Unfortunately, this one just dried out over time. I was trying to force what was left of it, but it just kind of broke off because it was so dry. So there really isn't anything left. Nothing comes up when I try to roll it up. So I'm counting this one as an empty. And that was the last product. That's gonna wrap it up for my empties video. I feel like I had a good mix of makeup products. Like I feel like I can do almost a whole look with the things that I finished up. So I had an under eye corrector, I had a tinted moisturizer and a concealer. Again, we had the pomade and the brow pen, and then a mascara and a white eye pencil. So I finished up 7 makeup products, which I feel like is really good. It's definitely nothing extreme. I know there's plenty of people out there who get through a lot more than this, but I feel like for someone who's not actively trying to work their way through makeup products, I feel like I'm happy with that. But anyway, that is gonna wrap it up for the video. Thank you again for checking it out and for spending your time watching it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!